Good morning, everybody, and welcome to what is now our 17th live stream presentation. And we're not at Rowe Gallery. We're at the Bronze Age. It's not a foundry. What is it? Metalsmithing Studio.
Metalsmithing Studio? Okay.
Oh, I don't know. Whatever it is. Whatever sounds more glamorous.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Bronze Finishing Studio.
Bronze Finishing.
How about that?
We are in great company because, as you know, we've been following the process of casting Simba in bronze. And as surely as my witness, my coworker, the question I'm asked most often in the gallery is, how do you dip the sculpture you're doing in bronze? And the answer is, you don't dip it. You hire artisans, like the ones we're about to meet, and you know Erik, to cast these in what's called the lost wax process. You saw how Simba was cut into pieces at Jeff Christensen's and molded. You then saw 2 weeks ago Megan with Thumb Butte and her staff of artists cast it in bronze. Now we have the pieces. So we're here today at Erik's facility, where he has assembled these amazing artists who I greatly respect for their talent and everything else, come on in, that are going to show you how this piece is assembled. So Erik, you introduce everybody, and we're going to get this thing rolling.
All right, well, this is Jeremiah. He's been helping Stan right here put Simba together, and he's going to show you some grinding a little bit later, how we get the pieces ready to put together.
Okay.
Stan is going to be working on showing you how it's put together, the panels that this is cast in, and then at the end, we'll give you a little taste of the next
one, the 2nd of October.
The Patina episode.
Yeah.
And we'll show you a little bit of Kristen over here doing a Patina.
Okay, so behind all of us right here is what we're going to work on today. So what we're all holding is the parts and pieces to this. How many pieces was this cut into, Stan?
Oh, look, we're going to go 17.
17
yeah,
pieces.
We'll just say 17 is a good number.
That sounds good. It's odd. Yeah, just like us, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to help Stan start putting this thing together.
There we go.
Yeah, okay. So you can see all these panels were casted separately. Now, Stan's job is to make these panels fit and weld them together, which is not an easy task because of all the warpage that takes place in the wax process. Plus the casting itself, the metal starts to twist and distort. By the time these guys get these, they're a giant jigsaw puzzle. So let me take you over here just for a second if I can. Look at this pile of parts. This is how Erik and his artists receive the piece, in a pile of parts. And they're going to take all that and put it together to get, of course that's not the lion, but they're going to put it together.
Here's a couple pieces of the lion.
Here you go. The forearms, yeah. Okay, good. So Stan, let's turn this around. Let's get one of these panels on here.
Let's go ahead and do that.
Let me grab this, Stan. Oh, Stan will do it.
Stan's the muscle.
Okay, good. I'm glad I could help you.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so.
I'm glad you're...
Okay, so this is the panel, and it does go. Where's it go, Stan?
Well, you just got to turn it around and make sure it looks...
Right here. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay, so now you tell me what you would normally do. You find this.
So what we're going to do is you're going to have to steady it for me.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get one spot that I know is going to tack.
Okay.
So I'm going to lift this side.
Okay.
You're going to pull that right there.
Right there?
Okay, ready?
Gotcha.
Okay, we're tacked.
Okay, you're tacked. So that's the start of it. Now you've got to make all this.
Follow this seam down.
Okay. So you're going to tack it again where it meets.
Yeah, I'm just going to tack it right up in here because I'm going to have to get in there and pry the heck out of that and move it around.
So if you tack again there, let's look at what you've got over here to deal with.
Well, look, he can't quite tack there yet, Ken, because that's not
bent.
fitting correct.
Okay.
And my
You can
next
only-
option is right here.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, you can only put a tack where the piece is fitting perfectly together.
And this is the warpage I talked about before, where it starts to
Yeah, so that's
twist.
not quite fitting.
Yeah.
So he'll tack it here, and then we'll move on.
Okay, good. Here we
Ready?
go. Okay. And now what?
Well, you move this over. And you got that pry bar over there.
Okay, here we go.
And this is where you just
Start bending.
take this, you move that,
Okay. Is that where you want it? Pretty close?
It's pretty close.
Okay.
I can.
Right in that corner.
Ready?
Yep.
And we're set.
Perfect.
Now
so,
you'll see sometimes gaps will end up like this because during the process of making this, these waxes are cut into pieces, and every time you cut the wax, you lose a little bit
of
the
piece
bronze
itself, yeah.
And there's also little areas that don't fully cast, and that can create
Yeah.
kind of a space
Yeah.
like that. But the key is we have to see if all your texture and your form matches up. So right here we can see that your line here, you can see how it continues
Yeah.
into this,
Yeah.
and you can see that that form is going to still be good.
Now, so this is fairly easy in terms of lining up.
Yeah.
A lot of your projects aren't so easy.
Well,
I can
let's
see
look at
a
this side.
discrepancy right here.
Let's turn this thing around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all fun and games on the front, and
Yeah,
now look at the back.
Yeah. So something's wrong there, Stan. What is it?
Well, I'm going to have to move it.
All right. So close your eyes here because Stan's going to pull out some big tools to make this thing fit.
Start out with this. That keeps it down. Pry bar for a moment. Let's see where this is going to lead us.
So now keep in mind that bronze is 95% copper, so it's very malleable. As you can see, he just twisted that entire piece to line up a lot better. Now he gets the pneumatic. What is this thing, Eric?
This is an impact.
Impact. Here we go. Look at that. That's amazing.
And then we need the hammer.
All right.
Now that looks easy, but that's 20 years of experience.
Exactly. 20 years and 50 seconds of experience right there.
Yep.
That's amazing. So now you're going to weld that up.
Yep.
So we're going to leave Stan for a second. Eric, you're going to take us to one that's already started to, or is there something else you want to show?
Let's just show how.
Okay.
Let's look at, you can see how these pieces, to start with, we've grinded down the edges so that they all fit together. So you see that?
Yes.
But you saw when we get the panels, there's parts sticking out.
Sprues.
The sprues from the casting process that don't allow us to put them together. So actually the first step is to grind those down.
This is where Jeremiah comes in,
Yeah,
right?
let's get Jeremiah in here.
Okay, Jeremiah.
And we actually, in addition to that, we do some forming on these, like some pre-fitting, because sometimes these panels are way off.
Okay.
And we'll actually bend them and hammer them.
Before you even try to put them on.
Exactly, yeah. But we'll just show
Wow.
you a little of the grinding here.
Okay.
That's where you take a bigger,
Hey guys, real quick,
yeah.
might be having some tech difficulties. I'm not getting comments coming in, so if the folks know, viewers
Sure.
know that for some reason I think like we'd have a good morning by somebody by now, and I'm
Oh,
getting
good.
nothing, so we might be having some difficulty
Okay.
with that.
Gotcha.
Just so the viewers know
Could
too.
be the, is it the
not
connection that
coming
we
through
have?
on my screen, so
Sure.
just thought I'd give everybody a heads up.
Sure,
So
no
I'm not
problem.
sure why that is. But
Okay, okay. That's good to know. Okay, Jeremiah. That's great.
Okay, so you can
Good
see
job.
how much it took just to get one of those
Yeah,
down.
and he's got, just on this little piece itself, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of those, would you call those sprues?
Or gates.
Gates
Yep.
that you've got to grind down before you even start assembling it like Stan is going to.
Yeah, and normally if we had this all set up right, he would have a bench and clamp these down.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, have a real, maybe even have a bigger
Grinder.
grinder on there
okay.
and make quick work of it.
Yeah.
Quicker work, but it is very time
Yeah.
consuming, even that part.
So Stan, while we're standing here, why don't you throw some welds on that? Just show everybody how you weld that. A longer section. I guess up by the neck. Is that where you go? Okay. Now this, what kind of welder is this?
This is a TIG.
A TIG. What is
TIG
it?
welder.
All right.
So he's got silicon bronze rod
Okay.
So he's literally welding bronze right into the bronze of the casting.
So the tool he's holding on the right pulls up the metal, melts it, and he dips that rod into it to fill.
Yep. Dips the rod right in and it melts
Yeah.
the bronze and closes that gap and seals them together.
That's amazing. So you've got these huge gaps you got to fill.
Yeah.
Well,
so
here
since
he's gonna
since
tighten
I
that.
only went down to here, I do have to bring that up.
So you're
That's
gonna-
that, of course, is where this is going to come in.
Okay. I should have known, right?
You know, so you just hold that like that.
With two hands. And you just keep working your way down.
And so the next step is I'd put another clamp on it, bring this together,
Yeah.
and it would just line
Man.
Now the amazing thing, Ken, is during the process, these wax panels get all distorted because
Yeah.
the wax is flexible.
It's twists and turns.
Yeah, and it's almost impossible to keep them from distorting.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is if you can find a point where the bronze, the two pieces meet,
Yeah.
weld those together
Start
and keep
there.
pushing them together like that, the bronze all reforms back to its original form like
just
you
from those
sculpted.
small contact points.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and because the bronze itself is so flexible.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't think of it as being flexible, but you see it's
Yeah.
very
on.
flexible.
It's quite flexible.
That is great. So we're going to go from this stand and we're going to go right over to this one that's in the process. And Eric, you're going to show us what happens next. So now, you can imagine as an artist, I put all this time and work into this piece only to watch it be cut up into sections. And then you work really hard with the textures only to see a great big weld going through my texture. Now, is it called chasing?
Yep.
So you'll chase, which is grinding the welds to match my texture, which I can't think of anything harder to do than with these tools.
Yeah.
So you show us.
The reason I imagine it being called chasing is that here you have a problem where the weld has been
Yeah.
made, and you're kind of chasing that
The
problem
problem.
away.
Gotcha.
And you want to do it in the nearest possible way.
Yeah.
So we want to keep our texturing, within a half inch or so of what you've done.
Yes.
And we have to make it look like this was never done. So
Okay.
you'll start with, you've got the weld kind of sticking up a little bit.
Yeah.
So you start with a bigger tool like this and kind of start grinding that. So right here I can see that your texture goes down and there's kind of an edge to it.
Yes, where
See
this
right
one
there?
line connects. Yeah.
Yeah, so the two connect, but I can see an edge, so I'm going to take this and make that edge.
Okay.
So you can see right
Yeah.
there.
And so you're kind of mapping your way through this as you're grinding
Yeah,
based on the texture.
people think, oh, how do you match what the artist did? But really, the answer is right here in front of you. You've got,
Yeah.
we can see what you did here, see what you did here.
Yeah.
We have to just bring them together. And it's actually Stan that would be doing this, so
So then
I'm going
you
to bring him in on the next step.
Okay, Stan, here you go.
Okay. Well, let's get a good plane here. And I'm all about safety first.
Okay. All right.
All right. Ready? Yeah, sure.
All right. Go
So,
ahead.
I got to get a good plane here.
Okay.
Once you establish a good plane, you're not worried about the grinder marks. But then he's got a bunch of these rake marks in here where I would just take one of these.
We hand make these tools to match the texture
Yes.
of your sculpting tool.
So if you look closely at that, you'll see these cuts in the continuous blade here, right? And those cuts make that texture?
Yeah.
So this is a pre-bought carbide tool, and then you cut these marks in there, and
to
now when
match
he uses it, it'll match Ken's
those text-
sculpting texture.
Yeah. Wow,
Can you
that's
tell-
That's
amazing.
all it is.
Can you tell Stan handles the tools a little better
So he
than-
says that's all it is, but here I am. I'm the lucky one that works
And
with the
then,
clay that's so easy to move, and you got to
Yeah.
grind this metal.
Yep.
Oh, he's got a bigger.
then you just got to do the finishing.
All right.
Watch your eyes.
Look at that. That's a perfect match right
Okay,
there.
guys, we got Sylvia Herbert coming in. Just
Hey,
good morning to
Sylvia.
everybody. Looking good, she says.
Hey, sis.
We know Sylvia well.
Good. Thank you, sis. So that's amazing what you just did. And then you're going to even do more
Yes.
refinements on that. And you're going to work your way down to smaller tools.
I will.
That's kind of a quick example, but yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have to really refine,
Yeah.
because we have to make it where it matches
So a
perfect.
big area, I would definitely be using a bigger tool.
Yeah.
For the smaller areas, you always want to use a
So here's where a seam line was and
Yes.
where we've completely wiped it out. So look at
Yeah.
all that texture that was done right here.
And I guarantee you, you cannot see that. I can't even see it now. And when it's in patina,
No.
there's no way.
If it wasn't a little shinier, you wouldn't know
Yeah.
that it was there. And we want to give a little credit. We have
Yeah.
another guy that works here, Jefferson, who's not
Yeah,
here right
that's
now.
right.
But he did all this chasing here.
Yeah. So from here, what do? Once to say all the chasing is done, all the grinding and everything else, you sandblast it.
The next step is sandblasting.
Okay. And the
Yeah.
sandblast is what's given this kind of a matte finish here, correct?
Yeah, so when we get the pieces, the foundry has sandblasted them.
Okay.
And so basically this whole thing will look like that flat color. And
Yeah.
that will get rid of all the blue from the welding and the shininess
Yeah.
and make everything match.
So then, and that preps us for the patina. So now here's something to keep in mind. As you know, we've been tracking this process all the way. So today, of course, we're going to be doing the assembly as you saw on the chasing. But on the 2nd of October, here, 2 weeks from today, Erik is going to be doing the patina for the client with the clients here on this specific piece. Right? On
Well,
this
actually,
one.
we have a goal to have both of these pieces done.
Ah.
And
Oh, you
then,
can show the prep and then the finish.
yeah, we're going to show a little bit of the start and a little more of the finish.
Perfect. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Hey, guys, we have Olga coming in, just saying, looking phenomenal,
Oh,
guys.
Olga, thank you for chiming in. We miss you.
I'm going to show some more of the tools that go into the final
Sure,
details.
sure.
Let me go over here. I'll be right back.
So after we do this, we're going to go to Kristen, and she's going to show us a little example of how she would do a patina on the very small version of this, which is how it started. Gosh, 10 years ago, it started off with this little 8-inch version, and now it's grown to this size. Okay, so now you have a little tiny pneumatic.
Yeah, so this is when you work on a piece, this one's awfully big, but even here you can see the cracks in the eyes and everything.
Yeah.
When the pieces are cast, there's little pieces
Like
that
little
get-
burrs?
little burrs and flaws that get stuck in the cracks.
Yeah.
And we have to take little tools like this. This is a dental burr like the dentist would use on your teeth.
Ah. Ouch.
And you can get in there
And clean out all
and
those
clean
little
out
imperfections.
all the little flaws. So I can see there's a little something here.
So how many RPM is that little pneumatic tool turning right now?
Well, if you want to know that, we better ask Stan, because
Oh, around 60 to 80.
60 to 80,000
Yeah.
RPMs a minute.
Yeah.
yeah,
A
Wow.
little slower than the 100,000.
we have a 100,000 RPM tool.
You do.
Yeah, and that's what would be used. See these little tiny lines that have been put
Yeah,
in?
yeah, right here.
Yeah, that's what we would use 100,000 to go over and
Yeah.
put those real fine lines in.
Yeah,
But obviously, the smaller the piece, the more you'll use these little
Yeah.
tools.
yeah.
And we try to use as big a tools as possible, but by the end of it, you got to get down to
The nitty gritty.
the nitty gritty. Yeah.
So hours and hours and hours of work just to get ready for the patina, which is what Kristen's going to show us now, right? A little sampling of
Yeah,
what we've
sure.
got to come.
So okay, so here's how the big cat will look. Just to pretend this looks an awful lot like it, and when it's all sandblasted, it'll look like that, without the base. And so the first step is we'll wheel it with these Scotch-Brite pads. So let's have Kristen show you that. And this will shine the metal up and get it ready for the patina. So what this creates See, Ken, all the work that we did in the cracks, like taking the little dino burr in there and everything, it's all been sandblasted and blended out, but now we can shine just the tops. And that's what allows that metal to show through and give the patina that beautiful glow.
So you get that reflective quality from that shiny metal that's underneath the chemicals you're going to apply.
Exactly.
That makes perfect sense.
Guys,
Yeah.
we got Joel Petersen
Hey, Joel.
coming in, just saying awesome.
Oh, we miss you.
There's no nepotism there.
Then he's kind of partial, I guess.
No, but you know, we have to say Erik is, because Erik, I have to show you this text I just got in. So this gentleman of mine has been around for a number of years, collected many of my pieces, and has watched every show. He's hooked.
Okay.
His last sentence to me, I'll let you read. Let's read it out loud.
Hope to see you soon. Erik is a cool dude.
See, there you go. So now you know. We agree with you, Joel.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, so one of the first steps for doing patina is to take liver of sulfur and darken areas with it that you want to be darker.
So it kind of gives you an antiquing. Like a ring, you would show the texture by antiquing
Yeah,
in the
if you have
recesses.
silver jewelry and
Yes.
look at it and you see the dark in the cracks, that's done
Yes.
with liver of sulfur.
Yes.
So Kristen's going to take some of that. And this doesn't even require heat to change the bronze. So watch how this changes it.
Well, it turns it dark instantly.
Yeah, just like that. And the stronger the mix, the darker.
Now,
It'll
what is liver of sulfur? Is it like a sulfur that from the ground?
Potassium sulfate, yeah, just like when you go to Yellowstone
Yes.
and you
From
smell
the
that.
geysers, yeah.
In the geysers, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually remember one time I was at Yellowstone with you and
Yes.
I took home a piece from one of the geysers and tried it on a patina.
Did it work?
It didn't work that good.
Oh, shoot. Oh, well.
It was like a very weak,
Okay.
you know, I guess the stuff we buy online is
It's concentrated.
is super powered, yeah.
So with that, now you're darkening the entire piece, but you're going to burnish that, which will really influence the texture of the piece.
Yeah,
correct?
so I'll show you real quick, when you have the liver on there, you could take a Scotch
Okay,
Brite
so
pad.
let's show how little texture you see right now, and now watch what
Yeah.
happens.
You can
All
bring the
those highlights
Yeah.
come up.
And see, on this piece, we're just doing the base with the liver.
Yes.
And we leave the cat lighter so it stands out against it. And the
Yeah.
cats have that light tan color so we don't put a bunch of liver or sulfur
On the cat itself,
Maybe
yeah.
just the tips of their tails are darker.
Yeah.
And a little bit around like the top of their head.
Yes.
So Kristen might add a little there for that.
Yeah.
But that would be it.
Well,
So
that's-
she would continue to work that all the way around. But I guess now we could just show a little bit of how
Yeah.
she heats it
yeah,
up. With
sure.
Hey guys, we have Kim Corey, our good friend Kim Corey,
Kim.
coming in, saying hi to everyone at the Bronze Age. Thanks for being amazing.
Well, Kim, thank you.
Hello to you too, Kim.
If you panned around us right now, you'd see a lot of Kim's
A lot
work
of Kim's
here
work
too.
in here
Yeah.
as well. So
Yes.
Well, no, actually, you won't see that much because she always makes us get it done right away.
So it's out the door.
Right, Kim? We don't mess around when it comes to Kim Corey.
That's
we
right.
get her work done. Priority
Yes, that's
number
right.
one. You can see normally, too, we would turn the
Exhaust fan?
exhaust fan on.
Yeah.
It's really loud, so
Sure.
just for this little bit.
So she's going to bring this up to about 300 or 400 degrees, you think?
About between 3 and 5, yep.
Yep, okay. And this is cupric,
Yeah, so
liquefied copper.
cupric
Need a different
nitrate.
brush?
There's a good brush. Yeah, so cupric nitrate, put a little of that on there, and that'll give us some green color and the
Look how that just comes up instantly as soon as she waves the torch over it.
Now show, maybe she could even take the wheel back over that and bring out some highlight.
Okay.
So see, that brings some brighter highlights back.
And then she's going to go over the top of that with now is
Ferric
ferric
nitrate.
nitrate, which is liquefied iron. This
Yeah.
is the red.
So the ferric nitrate, that's what we take the nails in a jar and
Yes,
we pour nitric
that's
acid in. But we'll get more into that next week.
Yeah.
hey Ken, we got a question coming in from Debbie Himsel.
Yeah, Debbie.
She's asking how much direction would you give on the patina?
Well, when you have somebody like Erik that's done my patinas for 15 years, it's not much. He has done so many of my lions and wolves and everything else. I don't even have to be here, basically. I can just say it's like this piece. And so, oh yeah, right. So when I come here to pick up the pieces, especially if it's the first one, I will then inspect it, and Erik and I will kind of put our heads together and see what looks best. But it's pretty seamless.
Another really good question, excuse me, gentlemen, from Carl Morris, if I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Carl's asking, was the small version of the cat cast as one piece or the result of welded components?
Probably
Good
the
question.
tail was casted separately. So it's just in 2 pieces, I would assume, right, Erik?
It was 2 pieces with a little hole cut in it that we
Okay.
had to fill in. So
Okay.
yeah, this is one of the simplest castings, and I'll show you why too. Because it's a little hot now, but you see, it's totally hollow underneath, and that means that they can put all the sprues to it underneath it.
Which allows the bronze to flow into here.
Yeah, and also there's nowhere for the shell to get caught and everything. So this is a very simple casting
Yeah.
comparatively.
Yeah.
Where just the size of the big one
Yeah.
means you have to cut it into all those panels.
So many pieces.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
So
We got
Kristen's
another
at-
question, you guys, from Aaron Horton.
Yeah.
Is that a Jackson Pollock hanging in the background or just chemical splatter on the walls? That's
Hey,
awesome.
it could be. Well, that and Eric's Levi's are for sale.
Yeah.
So yeah, see this?
Levi's for
This is in
sale.
vogue right now.
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
and Robert Albrecht, hello from
Oh,
Sedona.
Robert, yes.
Listen, let me tell Erin, Kristen, she has her regular patina booth is in another room that we couldn't go back to. She hangs canvases up back there to catch all this and create
Oh, you
paintings.
do? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
Do you frame them?
I'm trying to find a good way to
Mount
to
them.
seal them and mount them.
Yeah,
'cause
now, it's harder than it seems to get that to work out. It seems like it looks great on the wall, but you set something back there and all of a sudden things are complicated.
That
but-
might lead to a live stream. Yes, we'll have to check on that one for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So-
Well, next week we'll be back there.
So we'll be skipping
think.
next Friday. Yeah,
Or-
so
oh,
next
2
Friday. But
weeks.
next Friday is Jen Farnsworth. Yeah, Jen Farnsworth is next weekend. Our painter. We're going to do it live from the gallery. She's going to paint a painting just like she did like in, what was that, March or April. So please stay tuned for that. And then we're back here 2 weeks from today with the big Simba. The clients are going to be here in person, and we're going to watch it be patinaed just like this.
Oh yeah, actually we won't be back there. We'll be right here.
Right here? Okay,
Yep.
good. So is there anything else we can think of?
I think.
Well,
we covered
I
it.
want to thank everybody for making this live stream such a popular thing, and I can't thank the artists that you met and you'll still continue to meet as we go through this process, because as Shirley will tell you that when people ask me how pieces are casted, the first thing I say is it's a collaboration with many artists, and I'm so glad that you get to meet them now, because without them I couldn't do this for a living. So thank you so much. We'll see you next Friday, 8 o'clock, I'm sorry, at our gallery with Jen Farnsworth, and then we're back here on the 2nd of October. Thank you.
Thanks.